been keeping up with some of the streams that we've been doing. You know, we've been talking about the whole AI bit. And, you know, some harsh realities that I think a lot of creators are having to come to this realization on. It is upending your industry, especially if you do creative anything. People, it's a select group of people. They are out there and you probably should be targeting them. But it's not as many as you may think that fell in love with the process of how something was created over the actual creation. Like the video that I did was like the truth about AI, and I just, showed these examples of like Asmongold and XQC, essentially echoing the sentiment that bros, they don't consume anything other than the product. How it's made is something that they don't care about. And I think what a lot of creators over the years have had to figure out is that that's a significant portion of the paying population. So then what happens is creatively, people start to realize that, and then they start making these little sort of micro adjustments that ultimately, like I said, it is upending a lot of these industries. It's fundamentally changing a lot of creative industries. And that includes other creators and their utilization of it. A lot of projects, pretty much every project for that matter, doesn't matter whether you're doing comics, games, it doesn't matter. If you're doing something entertainment wise, you are working with another creator in some capacity. I mean, there are those one-stop shops, there are the bands that record and engineer and master all their own stuff. But for the most part, like you see a comic book, even if you get a writer artist, like generally speaking, that may be the limit of what they handle. Maybe they probably don't handle the colors, and even if they do, like they don't handle the letters. You're involving other creative people, and other creative people are seeing are entertaining these different ways that they could sort of not have to pay other creators to help see their project through. And that's a miscalculation that a lot of people didn't really consider. That, well, what happens? Think less about the corporations and them taking the cheaper route. What happens when other creators do it? So it is something that is, it comes with uncertainty. I'm not going to pretend like I know what it looks like on the other side of all of this, because it's expanding rapidly. And the longer that it goes on, you have the adoption of it. I was watching what's the guy, Steve Altman, who was it? OpenAI guy. What is his name? I was watching some video, and this is what was really trippy, because he said it with a straight face. But I'm like, look, I guess that's how we feel about it. I think it's the OpenAI guy. It's one of the head honchos of one of the big Sam Altman. Okay, cool. So it was talking about the Sora thing. And, how that's putting all these watermarks on things. And the interviewer was telling her one of the things that he fears is, like, obviously there's AI for that. Like, so people are removing these things that are happening. And he tried to make a moral argument. I keep calling him Steve, Sam. He was trying to make a moral argument. His argument was that, and I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but his argument is that this tech is going to exist either way. So I might as well put it out, this version of it, so that society can start to make an adjustment, and he was just flat out saying, yes, the future is people are going to be able to make fake videos of you. And that's just what it's going to be. And he was like, well, basically, in short, it's funny to read the comments, because the comments are basically saying, so he's just saying that it's going to happen anyway, so I might as well be the one to do it. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what he's saying. Really, the reality is there's no way to sugarcoat it. There's no way to sugarcoat that. It is going to change your industry. Nobody is excluded from it. Nobody. It's going to fundamentally change your industry if it has not already. And it's not just going to be coming from the people with the money. They just have the latest and greatest and the best tech, and are going to be able to utilize this stuff at scale. It was never a democratizer. You don't have a specific advantage. because you are smaller and you're going to lean on this tech. That was something that everybody used as a cope. And I'm glad we can finally admit that, because people took exception to when I said that, but it was the honest to God's truth. It was a cope. People realized that this tech was ever expanding. It was rapidly expanding, and a cope to make people feel better about their industry being just completely changed fundamentally, for better or for worse, was lying to themselves in that this was going to be the great democratizer. This was going to level the playing field, because now I have access. You got access to the same. It didn't. That logic never made sense in the first place, because it's like, bro, the big dogs have access to the same tech you have access to, and they have what you don't have, and that's like brand recognition. You know, it's. That was something that I didn't do it. It was something that a lot of people were like, yeah, it felt good to say it. Because it's like, oh, yeah, this thing's coming. And if we just all convince each other and lie to each other and say that, yeah, man, it's going to be all right. No. It's a unique thing. No, this isn't like the automobile replacing the horse. No, generative AI is a unique thing. It's a specific thing. And it is unique, and it's expanding and getting better rapidly. It's crazy watching people, and we're not even talking about. I was just talking with my my mother about this, and how it ain't people that are her age and older that are falling, just being absolutely duped on these fake. I see all these fake ass videos that pop up on Twitter, and it's like this wholesome. You think that it's this wholesome video. I don't know how many I see it. I'm like, it's clearly fake. None of this is real. Dogs saving these children and with these crazy feats, they're all fake. Every one of those was made with some sort of AI. They don't know the difference. These are people my age. They don't know the difference. They can't tell. And this is why the thing that I said, I get scared of is, how good it gets. In that, as more people can't tell, it's only a matter of time before you get people that are getting charged for crimes that they never committed, being placed in these unfortunate situations, and that's the one white pill of it all, is that, people are trying to develop AI to be able to tell. Like, it's like almost like this self-correcting thing, because people are using AI to be able to tell the real stuff from the fake stuff. But that's not like that's foolproof, because the whole point of it getting better is that it becomes more and more difficult to trace where it came from. So it's a trippy thing. And it is going to fundamentally change your industry. I'm not going to sit up and lie to you. If you are a creator, if you are working in any entertainment field, AI is going to fundamentally change your industry. And not all of it is going to be for the better. It's not a democratizer. Yes, some of you are going to lose your jobs, and that's all by the market. This is why I wish that creators spent more, instead of trying to lead the charge so much on being just strictly anti-AI. I think a lot of resources were wasted in doing that. I think it should have been more so trying to get people to, convincing the general customer who is not a creator. I don't know why creators, they have this so bad. And that's among all the creative fields that I've ever been a part of. It doesn't matter whether it's comics or music. Creators are so inept in that they think that they're only selling to themselves. They keep operating as if every individual, for the most part, thinks the way that they do and can appreciate things the way that they appreciate things. And that's never been true. If you are an entertainer, one of the best things that you can realize is that most of your customers are not your peers. Never have been. So they don't see things like that. And instead of arguing from this place of arrogance, where that was the first like kind of knee-jerk reaction from a lot of creators, it's like, this stuff is slop, it sucks, it's the worst thing ever. Why don't you support real artists and kind of taking this sort of high and mighty stance. And that didn't do anything but turn off potential customers. They was like, who the fuck are you? You think you're better than everybody. Miscalculation, another one. So yeah, it's going to change industries. It's already changing industries. Some people are going to be left without. But it goes to what I was saying in that video, and it goes to what I've been saying for several years. Creators, if you want to make it financially as an entertainer, you need to be focusing on the other thing, because simply being able to draw something, to sing something, voice over something, and being talented is not enough. It's not. It's not enough, and it never was. You cannot coast on that, and being mad and lashing out at others. It's not going to help your cause. Like I've said, the ego of a lot of creators didn't do really anything but really help usher in that. Talk about this with the whole localization thing. Like that helped usher in that sort of tech, for example, because people are like, we don't like these people, and we hope they actually lose their jobs. So I don't know I'm not gonna sit here. I can't predict markets. It's part of why I'm a capitalist, right? It's gonna decide whatever it is. We'll see. But yeah, I think every entertainer needs to understand that it's going to up in your industry. Obviously, it impacts all industries. Mainly because of the automation aspect of it. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're doing back office stuff. It's gonna, like, people are finding ways to replace a salary job with, okay, I can just have some AI do it. Yeah, that's happening, and yeah, it's gonna impact your industry. It's funny how we keep coming back to the most secure people in our economy right now. Really are people that know the trades. Um, you're sitting pretty right now. But everybody else pretty much is, I don't want to say you're on the chopping block, but you know that AI is being implemented to cut down costs for a lot of different things. And it doesn't matter if you're with a small company or a big company, it's being used. And it means that people are trying to actively get rid of your position. So I don't know. And we'll see what happens.